Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is T-Rex, Milan T-Rex. I am pretty sure that you have searched a lot and looked up on YouTube how to draw hair and eyes and all that stuff. But hair is one of the most evident characteristics in manga, along with the eyes. So this video here, I'm just gonna show you a couple of ways of doing good hairstyles and something that is pleasing to the eyes. There's so many different ways to it. So there are ways to make them, some prefer to make them strand by strand and try to make it look realistic. Some don't and prefer to make it a big chunk and then kind of give you the illusion that it's hair, so you can get the idea, but it's a big chunk, and that's all what it is. I'm gonna try to make a couple ones here. So I'm gonna put this. Is it right? Nope. I always have to give mass to the hair. A lot of people that I see start the hair directly from the head and they start drawing strand by strand and all that. And then eventually when the piece is done, you're gonna kind of find that the head is kind of squished. But you don't know why. It's because the hair is not a mess, and that is not realistic. Maybe it's a cartoon style, okay. Yet it has to be representing realism, so you actually can relate. Right? So I'd like to go with an S for some reason when I practice. Just very pleasing to the eyes. It looks very aesthetic. So yeah, I'm just gonna remove this part because for some reason or somehow it does not go along with the hair. They don't just fit together. You want to make sure that the style is perfectly fit and does not jump from a style to a style. So I'm gonna add a twist to it because this style is Hurley. Hurley. Mark my words. Hurley it is. Curly. Curly, ladies and gentlemen. Curly. And there you go. You see that now. A lot of people, as I said, like to go strand by strand. So you would see them go really, putting details to this hair, to this just on top of the hair. So kind of put details here and there like that. But some people, when they're doing ponytails, they actually make more than one strand. That's another one. There you go. That's another one. And here's one. Sheesh. There's another one here. And maybe you can make something like this. So yeah, you see a lot of strands here and there. And if you find a hard time doing this, then why don't you just stick with the simple one and then jump to the one that goes with so many strands. So you just kind of practice your hands on it and then go from there. Well, it actually looks weird, but you get the point, right? You get the point. So I'm just gonna put something here and there so it looks much more interesting. Okay, now something really important that I want to share with you. You want to always make sure that the hair, all the lines you have, you want to make sure that they're heading towards one point. So you see, it's like all of them are coming out from this point, right? Doing this, you can actually add details to the hair, right? You can give the illusion of strands going on here and there. And they will still look good because they're all going out from one hair, from one point, one hair. Okay. Another thing that I have noticed in so many works out there is that they like to keep it separated. You can continue it by your own eyes. So you see the line although it's not there. So you can actually tell that it's heading upwards, right? Now, you saw me a couple of times when I start with the S shape. See me going, just erasing and going over and over and over again. Why is that? What am I trying to do here? Well, I'm going to tell you, the first one is normal, right? But what's interesting about designing, regardless what style, is it manga, manga, 3D, logo, anything. Generally, a design is much more interesting when it's not symmetrical. So if you go something like this, like you see, too boring. So if you go from thick, thin, to thick again, so kind of deviate from what you normally do, right? So you would normally make this straight line like that, so why don't you make it just in an angle, right? That gives way much more interesting look to it than the other one. Also, it's not only with the S shape, it's with really anything. Alright, so let's go with letters, alright? So that's letter T. Is this interesting? Nope. Just boxes on top of each other, right? But if you cut a piece from here, does it make it look much more interesting? That's right. Now, we don't want it to be symmetrical. So this line is symmetrical in a way that if you look at it this way, in this, in this box, so you see it this side, it's perfectly symmetrical. And that's, again, boring to the eyes. So what I would do is make a little deviation towards one side. Doesn't matter this side or the other side. So you do something like this. Right, now you can see it, becoming much more skillful, right? It is just a trick. Straight lines tend to be boring when you put them together and they become repetitive. It's just too boring. Now, how do I apply that on hair? So if you make a ponytail, so that's a ponytail, right? So instead of doing something like this, then you realize that, man, why don't I like it? Something is off. Don't copy this line. Go with another one. And then try to make it uneven. So that's a more interesting look to it. Then you can add, like I said, you can add the details here and there. That's all for this simple style. It's very simple. Yeah, it looks pleasing. So you look at it, it's pleasing. Okay, now let's switch to male hair. Okay, all right. So this is the point of the hair. I'm gonna give it a bulk. And the hair goes like this. You see I'm doing it random because, I have nothing in my head right now, but I'm just going with random lines like that. I can actually see something into it, and then, kind of go over it and get a hairstyle there. I know that you don't see it the way I saw it because you tend to have your own style, right? You see things different from the way I see them. Make the head look more alive. Just practice on this. You see, this one looks boring because they perfectly meet here, right? Even though if you don't draw it, it's really boring. So erase this part and put it there. So it goes, this part goes like this, or like this. This part goes like this. I like to do also one thing, if I still don't like it, I go just overlap like that. You don't have to start always from the tip, you can go from the side. So you see, this part is supposed to meet like that, but you keep it, separated, but you still can see it. That blends the one at the back with the one at the front. Blends them together, telling you that this is all together, right? But this one is at the back. This one is at the back. If you complete the thing right, like that, it gives more distance, if that makes sense. So this is further away in the back than it is like this. Hope that makes sense. No? Alright, so one more thing here that I want to say. Sometimes you see, I've found this in Google, but I'm not really good with hairstyles, so I googled a curly hairstyle, and you see that it goes down from the head and then it starts going curly. Bro, I mean, naturally, that's what it does because it's pulling this part here. The tension is dragging this into straight hair, right? And then it goes freely into its nature to be curly and coils here, and there. You kind of see the transition from straight to curly. You like paintings when they are when you have transition from color to another, and this is one thing: transition from a straight hairstyle to curly hairstyle, and I like it. I like it. This is not a very thick strand like the hair at the back or at the left side of the head, so it's gonna go to its nature even more than this part. So it's going to be much more curly. It's gonna be curlier than it's on the other side. And let's put that's a curly hair. Tends to be frizzier than a straight hair, and you kind of see a strand coming out from here and there. Now, one thing that I think easier with digital drawing than it is with traditional. You see that you want to make another layer on top of everything. I don't know if you sometimes you have that feeling, but you go like, man, this is plain. It's like a sandwich, an empty sandwich, right? You want to put something in the sandwich to make it look tastier, and it's the same thing here. That this hair looks very simple. It's just one layer that it's laid here, and I want to make another thing, another one that it goes around like so. Well, the problem with this technique is that a lot of people have hard time drawing over something they spend a lot of time on. And my advice for that is go make another layer and keep the original work and do the new one. That's definitely going to give you the courage to work on it. Maybe a hairstylist would be seeing this and going, "What the hell is he doing? He just ruined the hair." But I don't know. I don't know. I would just practice this way. And it doesn't have to be really perfect or an artwork. You just have a simple notebook that it's lined. Even those are okay with me. So you just start with the hair. That's a ponytail, something like that. I'm done. And then you're done. And believe me, this method really helps you out. Now, the best part. I want to make a black hair. I'm going to struggle a little bit with it because it's easier with me to do it on paper using a pen, but I'm going to try it anyway here. So I tend to do it this way. It's definitely harder. Like so. And then the other side. Eventually, you're going to create a area of highlight. Then you work on the highlight, break it down here and there, get an interesting negative space look to it, and do the same thing with the other ones. Make sure it's all colored in black. Right, now between these two, of course you've seen this part, I mean, everybody noticed this thing, and that is a white line whenever you're coloring it in black, so the black lines become white lines. And there we go, same thing, same technique. But I'm gonna leave this part white because the light is coming this way, right? And this is the outermost part. You can do it also here if you want. That's a long hair, ponytail again. This part is going outward and it's gonna create this. Think about it like a ribbon, right? I've heard it in a video on YouTube, but I don't remember which video. I would quote him or her on this, but because it's just a great way of imagining it. So basically, it's just like a ribbon, right? So you bend the ribbon, you have this part that is highly highlighted. If we do the same thing for this hair, you're gonna have almost similar look to the outer edge of the hair. Now, what am I doing here? Magic. Let's color this part. You're gonna like this part, guys. You're gonna like it. Beautiful stuff. Alright. Okay, good. Does it look good enough? Nope. Now, pay attention to this part. You add some more, right? Strands here and there. And the exact opposite. Gonna make it inside here. Piece here. In case if you were wondering, these pieces are all going towards one point, which is here, right? This is the point right here. So everything is going towards that point. See that? Yeah, it gives a really interesting look to it, right? So I've seen it in a comic, and ever since I started using it. I'm kind of getting carried away with this. So anyway, I hope you guys found this really useful. I thought that I could cover a lot of what I know about hair, but I think this is getting out of control and I'm spending almost an hour here. So alright guys, hope you liked this video, and if you have anything, any questions, anything in mind, please let me know. I will read them all, and stay tuned.